Today we're in the green pastures of Hastings Mill Park. We're in for a great vlog today because with me on camera as always is Rick Von Schmidt. And Rick, this is one of my favorite parts of town. I think the doggies are the friendliest here. Today we're going into Vancouver's oldest building. The Hastings Mill Store was built in 1868. It's a museum now, and it's full of fun exhibits. A dedicated volunteer group called the Native Daughters of BC run the museum, and we're getting a private tour from Lisa Smith. Hey, there's a good doggy. Hey, get over here, buddy. There you go. There you go. Go ahead, quick. Do sniffer. Bella. In 1868, this was the first commercial business to operate in what became Vancouver. It was a general store, and it was at the foot of Dunleavy Avenue in Japantown. It survived the Great Fire of 1886 that wiped out most of the city. When it closed in 1930, some thoughtful people saved the building and had it barged over to this location, and they turned it into a charming little museum. And Rick, you want to show us a map? Oh, thanks, Rick. Yeah, those sweet gals barged the building from the green circle there to the red square 8 years before the Lionsgate Bridge was even built. Incredible. Oh, the old place sure has got a lot of character to it. Ooh, there's a plaque from the city of Vancouver. Says the building had several functions over the years, including Vancouver's first post office. And just inside the front door here is the old table from the post office. I wonder how much a stamp cost back then. A real nice display here on Vancouver's nicest man. If you saw my recent vlog on Seraphim Joe Fortes, you'll know that in the midst of overwhelming discrimination, Joe spent his life saving hundreds of lives at English Bay and teaching people how to swim. Here's a lamp from his cabin and a special recognition from the city dated 1910.
It took a long time to honor him because he was hired in 1900. It took until 1910 for him to get some recognition from the city.
Here's one of the biggest exhibits in the museum, an old hansom cab.
So it carried 2 or 3 passengers in the cab, and then the driver stood in behind. The reins passed through the metal guides and connected to the forest.
I got some great footage from 1930 of the building being towed down Burrard Inlet.
Hello? The lady just coming into view here, this is Jessie Hall. She orchestrated the whole thing. This is kind of a dark picture of her, but she was the one that really got the whole ball rolling. She was the daughter of Sam Greer of Kitsilano Beach.
Built in 1899, this is Vancouver's first automobile. And I'm not sure, but I think they might be eligible to go into the HOV lane.
Burned up in the fire. So this would have been the first one that was formally used after the fire.
And from the 1800s, here's the table from City Hall. Our elected officials had very important meetings here. And if Mayor McLean or Oppenheimer were here now, I'd say, Your Worship, how about saving more heritage buildings? They have a really thoughtful and respectful tribute to local Indigenous people here. These 3,000-year-old decorative beads are made from shale. They were discovered at the foot of Angus Drive in Marpole. And this is the museum's newest exhibit. It's a grass-stuffed saddle that was made by the Cache Creek or Lillooet tribe for a First Nations princess.
Okay, down by the roundhouse clearing, down here. And then a freak wind came up from English Bay and got into this huge pile of deadfall from the logging operations and blew the flames right directly over the city. So from the time the flames entered the city to the time things calmed down, when it reached the inlet, there's a span of about 45 minutes. So the city was just flattened. There's one hotel on the west side, the Regina Hotel, that survived, and Hastings Sawmill to the east, but everything in between was destroyed.
The museum has a few items that survived that devastating 1886 fire. A young newlywed couple had just moved here from Chicago that year when their home went up in flames. As they rushed outside, the young gentleman grabbed this chair so his bride didn't have to sit on the ground. And she kept it all her life. Here is 91-year-old Mrs. Julia Wolfer in the newspaper in 1948. It says she had a wistful look in her blue eyes as she recalled her gallant groom's chivalry. I was admiring this copper urn that supplied coffee to the fire's refugees when I noticed the safe below it. That's when Lisa revealed a secret to me in confidence. There is a time capsule hiding in there. I thought my recent vlogs on time capsules buried around town had covered them all. But here's one to be opened in 2070. And I'll be here when they do.
So this is the store right here, that building. This is the sawmill itself back here. And this is the schoolhouse and the manager's residence up on the hill.
From 1872, this is the oldest photograph of what would become Vancouver. Incredible. I tell you, I think this museum has got to be Vancouver's most underrated attraction. It's easy to find. It's at 1575 Alma Street. Admission is by donation, and there's lots of free parking outside. Really nice people here, just waiting to share this cool place with you. They've always got new stuff too. I was here one time, and an actor playing Joe Fortes put on an educational show. Afterwards, volunteers served sandwiches and cake pops. Today they're preparing a special exhibit on Indigenous poet Pauline Johnson, one of my favorites. Special thanks to Lisa Smith for her gracious hospitality today. She's got a new children's book on Joe Fortes coming out soon. By the way, I promised Lisa I wouldn't mention that time capsule, so don't say anything to anyone, Rick. Ooh, I almost forgot, Rick. You want to put up that picture of the store from back in the olden days at its original location? Once you exit the museum, the Hastings Mill Park here is the perfect place for a picnic with a great view. Shoutouts today to Deborah Gendron and Valerie Paulson. I hope you enjoyed this little taste of old Vancouver as she once was. Thanks to Bev Sugarman for makeup and Jewel Hailmere for wardrobe. On behalf of Rick and myself, thanks for watching and subscribing. And until next time, that's a good beat.
Where are you from?
I live here, but my family's British originally. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
really
can feel it warm up actually.
Oh, I'm cold.
Yeah, it's really cold.